Welcome to my Vision News. Firstly, Addis Ababa government and Oromia special zone of Oromia region led by Shimalis Abdisa have signed an agreement. Addis Ababa government led by Addis Ababa and Oromia regional government led by Shimalis Abdisa have signed an agreement about the boundaries of Addis Ababa city and Oromia special zone of the Oromia region. A long-standing dispute has been resolved, and today Ethiopian Communication Ministry issued a statement. It is such an important matter that Ethiopian Federal Communication Ministry released a statement, but we are hearing some voices opposing this agreement, who are rejecting this agreement or who are questioning this agreement. Are the questions valid? Secondly, Mustafa Omar, Somali region's president, today held some meetings in Deir Diva. He is trying to pacify the people who are angry because Afars took control of some territories on Afar Somali border. Afars claim territories are part of Afar. Pressure is there upon Mustafa, and today at a hotel where some meetings were held between Mustafa and local journalists and activists, angry youth tried to confront Mustafa Omar, and there was a scuffle between Mustafa Omar security guards and angry youth. We have details for you. Thirdly, Wolaitas and Gurages are issuing statements. Political parties, NGOs, they are speaking in coming days. This week, probably, Ethiopian House of Federation is going to decide what is going to be the final decision regarding creation of two new regional states. Both Gurages, Wolaitas are rejecting cluster arrangement. And lastly, a clip for you showing Tigrayans. In the previous video, we reported that Tigrayans are returning from Samra Afar camp to their houses. We have a clip for you. Firstly, viewers, Addis Ababa Mayor Shimalis Abdisa, Oromia regional president, today held meetings and they announced a signing of an agreement. Capital city and regional government have signed an agreement about redrawing boundaries of Addis Ababa, Ethiopian capital, and Oromia special zone, which is part of Oromia regional government. It shares border with Addis Ababa. A long-standing dispute has been going on about the boundaries between Addis Ababa and Oromia special zone of Oromia region. The issue has been resolved. Some technical committees were working on this issue. They've been working for some time, and now agreement was reached today, signed by the parties. The parties announced this agreement. Ethiopian Federal Communication Ministry released a statement saying that it was a long-standing dispute which today was resolved peacefully. Addis Ababa spoke as well. She said today is a historic day that such an agreement has been reached because people were suffering due to unclear, vague boundaries of Addis Ababa and Oromia special zone of Oromia region. Now, some questions are being raised. Firstly, we are hearing voices from the Amhara region that all regions have a right to talk about Addis Ababa, which is capital of Ethiopia. So why is that just mayor of Addis Ababa, Oromia president, they signed an agreement? No other region was consulted. Especially from the Amhara region, we are hearing such statements. Ethiopian federal government is on board. Today's statement of Federal Communication Ministry indicates that this is not just agreement between Addis Ababa and Oromia regional government, rather Addis Ababa government, city government, Oromia regional government, Ethiopian federal government, all are on board. Amhara regional government, Amhara region does not share border with the areas where border has been redrawn. That is why Amhara region is not directly affected by this development. And secondly, I think that it is one of those developments which should be emulated in Ethiopia. Other regions should follow suit. Ethiopia has so many border issues, boundary issues, and behind ongoing Ethiopian conflicts, there are several boundary issues. So, if a region and federal capital have resolved boundary dispute peacefully, it should be commended. There are regional boundary disputes between Oromia and Amhara, Oromia and SNNPR, Amhara and BG, Amhara and Tigray, Afar and Somali. There are several boundary disputes. This development which happened today should be an example for other regions to decide to resolve their issues peacefully. See what is happening between Afars and Somalis. Hundreds were killed, I reported in some videos last week. They have held some meetings in the past. They could not succeed. But somehow, Oromia regional government, Addis Ababa government, they have resolved the issue peacefully. Both are Oromos. Yes, Addis Ababa is Oromo. And Shimalis Abdis is Oromo as well. But we'll have to give credit to the thing that they resolve this issue peacefully with the participation of Ethiopian government led by another Oromo, PM Abiy. I think other regions should also make extraordinary efforts, should put in extraordinary effort to resolve these border issues. Once Ethiopian boundary issues are resolved, you will see that conflicts will disappear. Secondly, a new story about Somali region's President Mustafa Omar under pressure because Afars took control of some territories on Afar Somali border 5 days ago. Since then, opposition parties are issuing statements urging Mustafa Omar to hit back, to launch counter-offensive, military offensive on Afar militia. So far, no counter-offensive launched. Opposition parties are accusing Mustafa Omar that he is in alliance, secret alliance with Abul Arba of Afar. And today Mustafa Omar tried to control the damage. He's trying to pacify the people by holding meetings with community activists, with journalists, with social media activists. He changed some government officials as well. Some mayors were transferred, they were changed too. A meeting was held in Dera Deva, which I reported earlier on Tuesday. The meeting was attended by Mustafa Omar, Deputy President was there as well, and Somali activists, Somali journalists were there. Before the meeting, reportedly, and after the meeting, angry youth tried to confront Mustafa Omar. Angry Somali youth, not happy with Mustafa Omar's response to what happened on Afar Somali border. Mustafa Omar's security intervened, his security guards confronted angry youth. They did not allow the youth to approach Mustafa Omar, but angry youth protested their accusing Mustafa Omar that he is not doing enough to protect the people of the Somali region. It seems that Mustafa Omar is not going for military action. That is why he is holding meetings. He is trying to calm the people down. He is trying to pacify them because he does not want to launch a military operation against Afar militias. Is he in some secret agreement with Afars, or does he think that it's on the right time to launch an operation on Western Front, while on Eastern Front Al-Shabaab is making inroads, trying to make inroads into the Somali region of Ethiopia? Whatever the reason is, so far no military offensive has been launched, counter-offensive by Mustafa Omar. Thirdly, Wolaitas, Gurages are issuing statements. Wolaita People's Democratic Front, Gurage, civic unions, they have released statements. They say that they reject cluster arrangement. We know that perhaps this week Ethiopian House of Federation is going to make decision about applications from some zones and special woredas to be converted into regional states. 2 new regional states will be created. Wolaitas and Gurages, they want to be separate regional states. They are rejecting cluster arrangements. They want no other zone or wareda to be part of their regional state. Let's see what happens. Tension is rising in both Gurage and Wolaita. Asif Abadajo was arrested a few days ago. We did not hear about his release. He seems to be still in custody. Last was Tigrayans at last were allowed to leave IDP camps in Samra. They were taken to their homes in Abala. In the previous video, we reported that UNOCHA has been busy making preparations for return of these refugees, IDPs rather, who have been at Samra IDP camp for around 9 months. Now they are returning to their houses, their homes in Abala. We have a clip for you showing the return of these Tigrayans from Samra far to Abala. How will they survive in Abala? Their livelihoods destroyed, their houses damaged, looted as well. They need aid. They were dependent on aid while they were in Samra far. In Abala as well, they will be in need of security, in need of food, in need of other aid. Watch this clip showing Tigrayan families making preparations in Samra far for their return to Abala. Thanks for watching.
بس ما ترى غير بعدنا نهار